EUROSHIP is a really important and timely project at the moment, partly because what we're seeing happening in the European Union and across OECD countries are long-term structural changes in the labour market and significant challenges to the way social provisions are offered to different groups of workers, so that we see across all OECD countries a big growth in inequality. The frustrations with some of the inadequacies that currently exist can be seen how they're expressed politically, either in very populist, nationalistic, retrogressive attitudes that hark back to some golden age.
If there's anything that's valuable about being a European citizen, it would be in the area of flexibility, mobility between countries, the access to certain kinds of supports and services, disability pensions, anti-discrimination, and a whole range of what are called social policy benefits and entitlements that are linked or should be linked to social citizenship. And that's something which the European Union desperately needs to be clear about, and to more than be clear about, to actually measure the existence of it and the impact on people's lives.
From the perspective of the Commission, as you may know, it is now the moment to identify which are the means and the ways to implement the European Pillar of Social Rights. But how the action plan is going to come out, it's in the hands of all relevant stakeholders.
Trade unions must take part to the decision-making process. We have a huge role in the capillary implementation of the decisions made on the social agenda and the economic one. And we have an important role in monitoring the progress and the effectiveness of the measures put in place.
I think these issues, what's brought up there, namely the digitalization or new forms of work, what we have nowadays, they don't fit together the social systems we have at place, though there is certain ambiguities what we have to deal with to find solutions to indeed keep our societies together.
EUROSHIP is very important. It's about exercising social rights. It's about how people in Europe, in the various European societies, can exercise their rights to material security, to autonomy and to voice. And the EUROSHIP project is important because it helps in gathering information, gathering data, and also providing a framework of understanding of how these things develop in Europe. We have now plenty of data, but there are also data gaps that should be filled, and this project is about filling these gaps.
Well, I'm really pleased to be leading the work package on how digitalisation is changing the social provisions, and that takes two aspects. So if we look at the labour market, what we see emerging with the growth of new technological innovations through the internet and smartphones are the growth of forms of working. Now, on one hand, this could offer new opportunities for people who maybe couldn't get jobs in the past, and this creates a number of problems across a number of different European countries in different ways about how you define who these types of workers are and what rights and entitlements they have. And the second part we want to look at is how governments are introducing digital technologies to manage access to the labour market and to benefit systems. And one of the issues we want to try and understand is why is there this big difference across Europe in terms of how governments are implementing this technology, how effectively has it been implemented, and what are the positive and negative consequences of having that policy if not all of your population will be able to access the resources. It's really about a really massive level of education required and bringing that whole population with you together rather than leaving some behind.
Work Package 5 in EUROSHIP deals with quality of work for young people. It's also very important not only to get your foot at the labour market, but also to get a decent job. We want to understand whether work in poverty is foremost related to unemployment episodes or indeed with a low wage, and also what's the role of labour market conditions like employment law and minimum income schemes.
I'm fully convinced that good decisions need good data, and in order to have good data you need information and you need a properly functioning statistical system. And our work package is to develop an indicator system to monitor the state of affairs with the social citizenship in Europe.
The EUROSHIP project actually starts at a very crucial moment of time, just the beginning of the new EU legislature. And this means that at the beginning of next year, the Commission will really publish how it intends to implement every single principle of the social pillar. And we can expect a lot of decisions to take place, while at the same time there's really a shrinking space of time to input into all these decisions that are happening at EU level. And this is where EUROSHIP and the cooperation between academics and civil society is very important, because it allows us to phrase recommendations and back them up with evidence, and then make sure that the EU policymakers get to know them at the right moment in time.
I would like to see interesting outcomes in terms of social citizenships. I would like it to be a sort of a laboratory, a sandbox, to try to define this concept in a comprehensive and integrated way that we can use as a basis to implement our social demands.
I think the project has a fantastic potential to be impactful because, first of all, the coordinator's been able to engage a number of really key non-academic stakeholders who are very influential at European policy level. Locally, for the national teams, we've also got a significant body of organisations who are working directly with people who are trying to access employment or benefit systems, so they can feed into us what national issues are. So there's great potential there. I think there's a great team of researchers with a lot of experience. There's a great network of stakeholders who are really engaged right from the beginning. So let's see if we can come out with some good, clear answers of how we help make it move on in a positive way.